Pressure can create diamonds, but can also cause middle-aged men to lose it. How many times have we seen this with our AFL coaches? It's impressive that they hold their nerve as often as they do, especially in those post-game press conferences when dumb questions get asked or their team has just lost. But not all coaches have been able to bite their lip, and some, under all sorts of circumstances, have broken their silence. Sometimes directed at the media, and sometimes directed at their very own playing group. In 2013, at the peak of the Essendon supplement scandal, senior coach James Hird was under immense pressure. He would eventually get banned from coaching for the entire 2014 season, but in the build-up to that, during 2013, he faced non-stop questioning from everyone about his role in the ordeal. He made frequent media appearances on AFL 360, normally on their weekday programs, but before a game in 2013, the first signs of Hird cracking publicly were seen. You couldn't blame him at all at this point due to all the pressure, and the question asked by Mark Robinson wasn't the sharpest.
A lot of senior media people have discussed your future. A lot of Essendon fans have been sitting around dinner tables thinking, what's James Hird going to do? Do you think that you are the right person to be coaching this football club?
If I didn't, Mark, I wouldn't be standing here right now. And we've got a game to play and we'll move on with that.
Have you been annoyed last one? Have you been annoyed by this talk?
Oh, we've got a game to play, mate. And what do you think? It's not pleasant. We don't want to be here, but we are, and we'll move on with the game. Thanks, guys.
Hird was the one to end the live interview, and it wasn't lost on Robbo and Jared Waitley that the ending wasn't smooth.
On AFL 360.
How do you think that went?
Not very well.
No, I don't think it went well either for our first major interview of the year, let's be honest.
One coach who held it together the entire time they were under pressure was former Eagles Premiership coach Adam Simpson. His last 3 years at West Coast resulted in 8 total wins and weekly speculation, especially in 2024, about his future. Again, he held his cool in every interview, whether it be a weekly press conference or appearance on other AFL programs. One constant throughout this period of time was the West Australian. The paper is the biggest in WA and known for their extravagant and eye-catching front pages. It's a brutal paper at times and shows little mercy, which we will touch on soon. The countless articles and opinions on Simpson were relentless, and some of the front pages were almost disrespectful. At his farewell press conference, Adam Simpson was able to release some of the pent-up frustration towards the paper, and specifically one of their contributors in Mitchell Woodcock.
Probably your 300th article. Woodcock. No, not really. It's what, you know. And you guys can be cruel sometimes, really. I mean, you've got to keep that in check, because we're human and we have families. So you want more access to our players, treat them with a bit more respect would be a good start. But you know, you got to do your job as well, and we get that. It's the industry. So no, there wasn't.
He had full support of the playing group in the moment and showed that Simpson had been paying attention to what the paper was writing about him. But that no mercy attitude was shown the next day, and this front page was printed by the West Australian. It showed Simpson's last 65 games in charge, with all the losses and wins, and printed in large letters, "See you, Simo." The most famous coach cracking in modern day has to be Luke Beveridge at the start of the 2022 season. The fallout is just as well known. Going into round 1 of 2022, the Western Bulldogs were facing Melbourne on a Wednesday night to open up the season. It was the grand final rematch of the previous season, where the Bulldogs lost to Melbourne by 74 points. On the Monday before the game, Fox Footy's Tom Morris reported wingman Lockie Hunter was not selected in the side. In hindsight, this frustrated Beveridge to a point of anger. the Bulldogs would end up losing to Melbourne again in round 1 by 26 points, and when Morris grabbed the microphone to ask Beveridge a question about Hunter's absence from the team, Beveridge let loose.
Melbourne was similar as well. Is that just normal round 1 preparation to, be uncertain, I guess, at how you're going to prepare?
You've got the nerve to ask me a question and even be here. So you've been preying on us the last 2 times. You barracked for Melbourne, Tom Morris. Been preying on us. You've been opening us up, causing turmoil within our football club by declaring our team well before it needs to be declared. Is that the way Fox want you to operate?
Yeah,
is that what you're doing? Is that the gutter journalist you want to be?
No.
Is that who you want to be?
If you let me answer,
right.
Luke.
So we went in with a plan. We had some late stuff go on with JJ, unfortunately coming out in the warm up. Everything other than that was according to plan from the Sunday, which somehow you've found out about again. So we need to get to the bottom of this. Obviously, we need to put our hand up and say that.
Now, Beveridge's Chopper Reed-inspired facial hair did add another layer of obscurity to the mini outburst, but in the moment, Morris was able to keep his cool and fire back a little.
And all we're doing is planning for a football game. Are you proud of yourself?
Yeah, absolutely.
You're proud of yourself?
Yeah, Fox backs me.
Wow.
And to be honest,
No, that's enough. That's enough. Next question, please.
In one last epilogue, Beveridge gave his final thoughts on Morris and his role in football reporting.
And what we do with everything that's gone behind the scenes, and us, as coaches and a football program, with the soft cap situation as it is, and this sort of stuff happens. You're an embarrassment to what you do, mate. You're an embarrassment. An absolute embarrassment. Disagree. We won't get many friends.
That seemed to be the end of a dramatic night. By Friday of the same week, Tom Morris was suddenly sacked by Fox Footy. In the following day after the incident, 2 leaked videos surfaced of Tom Morris that included sexist, homophobic and racial remarks. Now, immediate suspicion was raised. Luke Beveridge had perfectly coordinated the entire week's events, but it was found out to be a coincidence. The timing was uncanny. In December of 2022, the Herald Sun's Mark Robinson asked Beveridge about that post-game press conference. Did you ever give the Tom Morris spray any thought a week after it happened, or did you actually go into some depth about what happened? Luke Beveridge replied, I still think about it. Do you regret it? I regret the way it was done, where it was done, how it was done. I regret all of that. The one thing that conflicts with those regrets is the protective nature of my personality and how I felt at the time about the seriousness of what happened. In the end, both parties have bounced back from the night. Beveridge is still the coach of the Western Bulldogs, and Morris is back in the AFL media, holding the role of chief football reporter for Channel 9.